Welcome back to Deb and Matt chat, and it's day 2 in Hobart on board Ovation of the Seas. It's a recovery day, a slow day.
Yeah, taking a little bit easier, aren't you? Like, you can't go gung-ho just yet.
No, definitely not. So here we are getting off Ovation of the Seas.
Yeah, so unfortunately we didn't film a lot on camera today, so we are recording this.
Yeah, well, we got plenty of footage, but
Yes.
yeah, just didn't record to camera, I guess was the main thing really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still got plenty to show.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was a beautiful day. I think the day before had been, slightly cool and really windy. But this day in Wellington was absolutely stunning, wasn't
Wellington, we're in Hobart.
Oh, my God. We're out in Wellington. That's what I just
We
got
went to
confused.
Mt Wellington.
Yes, correct.
But yeah, so we started by obviously disembarking at the Macquarie Wharf, which you can see, and we've come through. And this is walking through the King's Pier area. So when you first sort of get here, there is a number of tour operators that are set up. You can book all your hop-on, hop-off tours on the different buses and tours around town. There's also buses that go out to Port Arthur and Richmond and places.
Yeah, so there was also, the City Highlights tour as well, which we actually did try to get on, but it was fully booked. Yeah,
unfortunately, it was fully booked. It was a bit slow getting off the ship this day, but as you can see, beautiful scenes here.
Yeah, as we wandered through King's Pier Marina towards Constitution Dock, we passed, there was heaps of little really cute cafes, wine bars. There was seafood on the dock as well. You could get fresh seafood.
Yeah, lots of little restaurants and things.
But it's a lovely little place, isn't it?
Yeah, really, really charming. Really enjoyed just wandering through here. And as you can see, just stunning. Like we had a beautiful day weather-wise.
Yeah, it was a bit overcast to start, and then the sun came out, bright blue skies. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful.
So just after the Constitution Dock, there's a booking office as well for the Pentecote Wilderness Journey. So these guys, you can book tours here and go off to I think it's Burney Island and all that sort of thing. See the sea lions and the bird colonies and all this sort of thing. So definitely something to keep an eye out at Bruny Island. So really quite a popular place. And they're an award-winning company. They've won a stack of different awards, and they go down and do the Tasman Peninsula adventures and things. So if you're into the wildlife and some pretty awesome coastal scenery, definitely something to check out. They were on our radar, but unfortunately with me being sick the day before, it just didn't work out.
So we also passed Elizabeth Street Pier and the Brooks Street Pier.
Yep.
Both, departure points for day cruises and local experiences there as well. And the hop-on, hop-off bus also stops there too.
Yeah, so a couple of those buses do, don't they?
Yeah.
Just out the front.
We went inside here to see if we could book some tours, but everything was sold out.
Yeah. It was for the second day, unfortunately. But yeah, it was lovely in here. There's a couple of, quite a few, sort of tourism operators doing their tours and things. So great spot to come down and have a look, all the same. And we went for a hot chocolate just after that, just to warm up a little bit.
It wasn't too bad though, the weather.
No.
As you can see, we're walking around without jackets on.
Yeah. And so, we stopped at the Harbour Lights Cafe for that, and that was nice. And then, so we definitely highly recommend that. Nice, cozy. We were able to sit out the front, though, quite, because the weather was sunny. And then we started wandering over to the Salamanca area.
Yeah. So one thing to note when you are in Hobart, so on a Saturday, they do the Salamanca markets, which we've been on a previous trip. That was brilliant. Although, as Matt found out, like every second place was either a gin tasting or a vodka tasting. And yeah, I think after the first couple, you're starting to get your wobbly boots.
You get the wobbly boots on pretty quickly on a Saturday morning at the Salamanca markets, that's for sure.
But this wasn't Saturday.
No, it wasn't. It was midweek. But such a beautiful, like it had arguably Hobart's most iconic precinct.
Yeah. Oh, look, the history there, but I just love these buildings.
Yeah, all those sandstone warehouses, and, back from the 1800s, just lining all the, not just the front out at sort of Salamanca Place, but Salamanca Square, which is up behind here as well. Some of these go back to like 1830s, and a lot of them were originally used for storing whale oil and grain and imported goods. So, but in contrast, these days they're mostly sort of artisan shops and galleries and restaurants and bars.
Yeah.
You got obviously the University of Tasmania. You can see there has a home in the area too. So.
But we found that, there was just lots of little like alleyway type things as well. So just that's what we just did around here is we just investigated and took a left and took a right and had a look at some of the places that were sort of back off the main area. Yeah.
It was actually nice. Last time we were here, it was really, really super cold. And this was actually a little bit of we thought it would be protection from the wind, but it was a bit of a wind tunnel.
Yeah. That's true, it was.
So this, lovely square, through here, and on this day it was quite nice. Got this big fountain and display here. So this is Journeys to the Southland sculpture and water feature. It's a tribute to Tasmania's seafaring past and the First Nations people of the region as well. So it's sort of, you can see they're all curved and shaped, sort of steel and made to reflect the flowing water journeys and things. So
it's very pretty.
Yeah, it was really nice, really, really lovely area through there. So, and just around the corner, off the corner of the square, there was there's a lovely little whiskey bar, and they do a wicked hot toddy. Not that we stopped there this time. Again,
No.
I'd been sick the 2 days prior.
But the last time we did travel here that we were just talking about, it was a freezing cold day. You went down into it, like you went down some stairs in and it was all heated and then you got hot toddies. Oh, yeah.
Lovely.
That was a lovely adventure, that one.
I really enjoyed, I found this, just the historical aspect of it that's really well respected. So many of these boards and signs out that explain this building was this building was that. Here's a story of what happened in the area. And see, they've all just been sort of, a lot of them converted and modernised to these little alleyways.
Yeah, this was just one of these little alleyways that we just went down, and it was just a nice little seating area that obviously you could just pull up stumps and have your coffee or...
Yeah, just a little courtyard area. So here's the sign here for the courtyard and what, the history of it was. And again, so yeah, quite interesting just when you look at all that. And so it's now part of the Salamanca Arts Centre, and they do different talks and exhibitions and things out in there as well, and use it for different things. But then you get all these little micro galleries where local artisans can join together and sell things. it was the little whiskey bar.
But we just as we were traveling around there, we were speaking to our friends Chris and Janelle
From the BG Travellers.
Yep. And now they had literally just been up to Mt Wellington and they'd got an Uber up there. And they said how beautiful it was. And they were talking to their driver and he had offered for us, to drop them off and we would jump in and he would take us back up to Mt Wellington.
Yeah, which is really exciting.
So we jumped in that Uber and started heading up the journey up to Mt Wellington. I think it took about half an hour.
Yeah, just a little bit over that. So we missed Mt Wellington when we were last in Hobart, which was a shame. But not this time. We were in perfect weather. We were definitely, and I was up for it. I was well enough that I was going to do this. If it wiped me for the rest of the day, I wanted to get up to Mt Wellington. So
that's exactly right.
Yeah. So I really. I guess it was about $100 return. We managed to work out with the Uber, and that was in line with what the price was, about $45. I think it gave us to go up, so it would have been roughly the same return. Yeah,
and he was happy just to wait for us and then bring us back down. Obviously, you wouldn't want to be you could stay up there for hours if you wanted to.
You could, yeah.
But it was just pretty, watching again all the different buildings.
I really love that. That drive up was definitely a scenic one, but driving through the suburbs and sort of seeing just all the historic architecture and those beautiful old homes and just they're quaint.
Yeah.
The chimneys on them, just very sort of English style homes.
I love how in Australia in particular, doesn't matter which state you go to, they've all got their different architecture, haven't they?
Yeah, they do, depending on
all so different.
When they were settled, who was the predominant sort of Europeans settling at the time.
Yeah.
But so we kind of get through the suburbs and then eventually we get up to those winding mountain roads.
Yeah. They seem to go on and on and on and on and on, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, check this church out. Just again, beautiful stone church. It really was just absolutely beautiful, though. Just driving up winding mountain roads, the native bushland, and then as you'd get further up, you'd come across these sort of rugged mountain formation, like rock formations, and it kind of, there was something about it. It felt like you were sort of stepping into I know it's Tasmania and not the highlands of New South Wales, but that kind of man from Snowy River kind of just
they were pretty narrow roads too.
They were very narrow roads.
The amount of time you'd come around a corner and you'd have to
pull right to the side.
Over, and I'm like, not too far over. There's some drops over those other sides.
There were in a few spots, that's for sure. But look at it, it's just stunning. A couple of spots on the way up where you can also pull over and get some nice photos if you wish. And, but all those big granite boulders just up the top. They're not down the bottom of the hill, they're up the top of the hill. That fascinating. That really messed with my head. I was trying to, how are these things up the top, not down the bottom? Shouldn't
Let's
they?
hope they stay at the top.
Oh.
And don't come rolling down.
Don't come rolling down, yeah, exactly right. Could do some damage, some of those suckers. Yeah, so it took a little while, but we did get up to Mt Wellington, and man, it was stunning.
Yeah, there was barely any wind either blowing, whereas people the day before had mentioned how cold and windy it was up there. But yeah, it was just this little short walk here crossing the road. Don't get hit, Deb. And then you can see just down in front there on the right is a little viewing, what do you call it, building?
Yeah, the Pinnacle Observation Shelter.
There you go.
Yeah.
That one.
And it's a bit of a boardwalk there too.
Yeah, so you can go in there and they've got the telescopes as well inside there.
But look at this scenery, just spectacular.
Yeah. So, yeah, they've got all these paths that you can go down, and as you can see, they wind down there to the left, and there's some further lookouts down there. So we went for the wander right through because, look, yeah, no words. It was absolutely beautiful.
Well, Deb, did you know, I'm hoping you do now, but did you know that Mt Wellington's 1,270 metres, I think, above sea level?
Yeah, it's huge.
It's up there. And you could tell there was a breeze, there was wind, and, it often has snow on it. So, but, the Pinnacle just offers views all the way across Hobart and the Derwent River, and, on a good day like this, you can even see out towards Bruny Island and stuff, like just absolutely stunning views.
Yeah.
This is one of those breathtaking moments in life. Like that image is burnt into the head, into the mind. Yeah. You can see looking down there towards Hobart City and the cruise ships down there as well. And
which looked tiny.
It looked so tiny, didn't it?
From up there, absolutely.
Yeah, just look at that.
Beautiful.
Just absolutely stunning. So definitely a pretty cool perspective, over Hobart. And they have all these signs that, provide information on local fauna and flora and, some of the history of the site and the weather observations that have been taken there historically. Lots of plaques about history. And then we made our way to the northeast viewing platform. So slightly different angle, and of course we had to get a couple of fun photos while we were out there, or just some photos.
Just photos.
Just photos.
I don't know about fun.
It was a bit crowded there actually because they had that. Remember there was like they had the emergency services games or something going on. So there was like all those police and firefighters and stuff that were visiting. But again, just look at that. It reminded me a little bit of a spot we went like in Dunedin that we stopped at, I think, when we were doing that train tour that day and just looking out at that sort of scenery.
Yeah. You see that communication sort of tower there? There are actually some warnings about electromagnetic interference.
Yeah, well, this is the big one on screen now, like the big sucker.
Yeah, because it monitors the weather.
They've got weather observations up there, and that thing is the communications tower itself, like for the TV stations and that. But there's all those warnings. So, be careful, your car lock might not work, and all those things. It's like, okay.
I wonder, with the electric cars.
I wonder how they go. Yeah. And then, on the way back up to the car, we saw this, small stone hut that's sort of been built. It provides a bit of an emergency shelter as well if you get caught in a sudden weather change up there. So helpful for hikers and things as well. Even as I said, like we've been up before, and so this is known as Trigg Station. But we've been in Hobart in January before, and there was snow up here on Mt Wellington. So, yeah.
Got some quirky little photos on the rocks.
We did. Couple of little fun photos as well here, just posing in front of this thing, looking certainly not like professional hikers.
Nothing like it.
But it has a fireplace.
With locks on it?
With locks on it. And apparently you can only use the fireplace at certain times of the year with certain permissions.
I'm sure there would be.
Yeah, so pretty impressive spot. And then
yeah, we started to head back down. And I remember it was sort of when we were just sort of getting out of the car, going through Constitution Dock. We were smelling all the fresh seafood.
yeah, well, there's these ones, a couple of options here, these little floating sort of pontoon seafood mongers that actually cook and do burgers and things as well, but they'll cook the seafood super fresh for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And they, I'm pretty sure we have some footage here of you could see all the buckets of fish. Oh, there you go. There's the buckets
Literally.
of the fish coming in now.
Like fresh, straight off the trawlers. Yeah.
Although they look frozen.
Well, they'd been iced on the ship on the trawlers.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, that was tempting, but yeah, I had to play it safe because it was on the men still, so I didn't do that. And we came back past some more sculptures here on the side of the wharfs and everything.
Yeah, they were lovely. They were all different sorts, weren't they?
They were. Yeah, very cool. Like, there was the dogs and the penguins and the sea lions and some people.
And that's the School of Creative Arts.
It's just before the School of Creative Arts.
Yeah.
So we sort of sussed this out, and then we toddled over to the Sea of Creative Arts. And we'll talk a bit about the history of these buildings in a moment, but you've also got the School of Creative Arts and the University of Tasmania. I remember we went through this little laneway here. There was these couple of little galleries we looked at, and we went out to this back courtyard.
It's different.
Yeah, it was just a quiet little spot out the back, wasn't it? A couple of sculptures and things. But what's cool is all this area used to be part of the IXL jam factory. So remember when we were kids and you'd get jam, in a tin, and you'd get the thing out and you'd open the tin of jam. So
the can opener.
With the can opener, that's it. Yeah. So this
none of these pull ring things.
No, or twisty glass jars.
No.
But they've converted all this, and you've got the university there now, and all this sort of industrial heritage meeting, modern creativity and culture, and it's really cool to see how it's been preserved and given a new life for all these buildings. And as I said, we saw there was a little art exhibition at the front, but just nice to see all that history come together and all the little bits and pieces that they've included.
Yeah, absolutely. And just all around this area, there was, the cafes and wine bars and accommodation as well.
Yeah, so again, just repurposing all those older buildings. It's really cool.
All right, so that evening, so we went to Jamie's.
We did. So I got back
dinner that night.
Got back on board, and I had a little bit of a rest first up. Just needed a nap after that day. Still recovering. And then we headed off to Jamie's, as you said.
One of our absolute favourites.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So that was part of our specialty dining packages that we got.
Yeah. And as always, you dressed up and looked beautiful, and I'm just like, ugh. Yeah.
Was it Island Night, I think?
Yeah, it might have been Island Night, Tropical Night.
Yeah, that's.
So we got in, had a couple of our favourite dishes.
That crab dish there, that's one of my absolute favourites.
That is such just a light.
So light.
Light and fresh flavours. We had the calamari there, and then obviously they bring out the bread.
Yeah, just those big lumps of bread.
Yeah, there's my pasta. So I had carbonara, and then we've got the charred. I
had the lamb.
Broccoli. You had the lamb. That's right.
Yes.
The lamb chops. We did that avocado salad. Yeah, look at those chops. They look amazing. Absolutely amazing.
They were good. And they've got like a pesto on them.
Yeah, so all really, really cool. And there's those charred things. Yeah, look,
I managed to smile.
I managed to smile. I was still looking pretty pale there. I mean, you always look pale, but I was looking pale.
Yeah, goes to the territory on me.
Yeah.
Then we went to the Love and Marriage show.
We did.
Yep. So they're always so much fun, aren't they?
Yeah, look,
it's down to the couples that they bring up, but it's always great.
Yeah, it is so much fun watching the couples sort of get in and just relax and have fun, hang a little bit on each other, get themselves into a little bit of trouble.
We've never done it.
No, we've never been called up on stage. Haven't put our hands on to be called up on stage yet. But they were on their honeymoon, 8 days married, and it went right through to these guys had been, they were like 53 years or something.
They always get newlyweds, middle of the range, and then a longer married couple. It's always a lot of laughs.
A lot of laughs, a couple of cheeky questions. It is a cruise classic.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's going to happen in one short moment is we're going to ask the ladies to stand up and we're going to exit the room. While they're away,
and then, as the night went on, we wanted to, we were going to have an early night anyway, but we bumped into Bernie, he from Sydney. So I'll put a link on the screen now to his channel. He's another guy that does a little bit of YouTubing. Absolutely funny fella. We got to bump into him a couple of more times during the cruise too, and he was awesome. And it's always just fun to meet fellow creators out and about.
100%. But that was wrapped up huge, but it was a really amazing day. The second one in Hobart.
Highly recommend Hobart as a place to visit.
Yeah, and we're hoping that things keep on going up and up for you, Matt, and your health.
Yep, definitely do. And if you are enjoying this Ovation series, please don't forget to hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss what is next. We've still got more to come.
We certainly do. Still got a few more days. So if you guys have got any tips or tricks for future Hobart visits for anybody, please let us know in the comments below, and everyone else can read them as well.
And we will see you next time on Deb and Matt Chat.
See you soon.